So I just completed the park run in Springs. It's the closest park run to my house. It was pretty intense actually. So it's 5Ks, it's in like a park, and I think this is something really cool to kind of prep for if you're starting to run, or if you're doing any type of running, or just, fitness. There's a lot of kids that come, a lot of old people. Some old people walk very fast, so they walked fast past me. So it was pretty intense, but it's a good morning and it kind of gets you up on a Saturday. And my next place to go is it's called Father Coffee, and they make some of the best coffee. So they're having a public cupping today. So this weekend I got up to going to my first ever coffee cupping, and it was pretty awesome. I was at a coffee shop called Father Coffee, which is one of my favorite coffee shops in Johannesburg. If you follow their Instagram, you'll find out when the next public coffee cupping is, and you can check it out. It's free and it's pretty fun, and it's a great way to get to know coffee. A bunch of interesting things that I came across that I found really cool, and things that I just genuinely didn't know, so it's quite nice. So just to note that the coffee cupping is not entirely beginner friendly. The guy who runs it is really knowledgeable about the coffee, and he can pretty much answer any question. So if you do show up and you like a newbie like me, he's pretty happy to answer most of your questions. To give you an idea of the process of what the coffee cupping was, you show up, everybody's happy, it's a Saturday afternoon. There's a spread of all the lovely coffees and the beans in cups, and there's also papers describing where the coffee is, the variety or variation of coffee that it is, and also just the process by which the beans were dried. There's 3 broad ones, and I'm gonna forget the names of them. Coffee can be dried within the fruit. The second one is they remove some of the pulp and stuff, but there's a bit of the coffee fruit still left on, and they dry it with that. And one is they strip away everything and they just dry the beans. So that also imparts a different type of flavor and aroma, and it just gives the coffee a different characteristic depending on how it's processed. So just to kind of run you through what happens. So the next phase is, after you've seen the beans, you can now walk around the room and you kind of get to smell and get the aroma of the beans. Certain beans smell very fruity, there's smells of strawberry or hazelnut, and it smelled very nutty. One coffee actually had a very strong hazelnut smell, but there were these 2 beans by Ona. These were they smelled so fruity and so different to the rest of the coffee. So once you've done the smelling of the coffee, so the second phase in the coffee cupping is he comes around and he pours water over all the coffee beans. But what happens is he sets a timer and he expects the coffee to brew for 4 minutes. So during those 4 minutes, what happens is the coffee sort of settles, and there's like 3 in newbie, right? So in my opinion, there's 3 sort of layers that form. So a lot of the coffee sort of sinks to the bottom and you get this layer at the bottom of the coffee. Then you've got this piece in the middle. So that's sort of like just water and coffee mixed. And then the final one is there's like a crust that sort of develops at the top of the coffee. So after the coffee is brewed for 4 minutes, the next step happens. So this is what they call breaking the crust. So what happens is you've smelt the coffee in its dry state, and now you want to smell it in its wet state. Is you basically hold the cup here, you take a spoon and you kind of just break away the crust, and you smell the aroma of the wet coffee. So that was quite interesting. I didn't get a chance to break the crust. I was a bit shy, and the coffee aficionados decided to break the crust. So once all the crusts were broken, we started the official coffee cupping, which just means you walk around and you kind of slurp the coffee and to kind of get it around your palate and taste the flavors. So that's your chance to kind of go around and taste the coffees and get their flavors. And yeah, again, the two coffees that really stood out for me were the Ona coffees. This thing tasted like hot chocolate with fruit to me. It was unlike anything I've ever tasted, and it was absolutely delicious. And another really interesting thing that they had was they had a brewed tea which was made out of the external part of the coffee,